the class of 2024's graduation ceremony. I'm Ms. Leslie Tam, Director of University Guidance at the school and one of the University Guidance Counselors, and will be your MC for the evening. We are so excited to be celebrating this special day with our 47 graduates in the class of 2024, and with our distinguished guests, family, and friends. At this time, may I ask you to please rise for the class of 2024 processional, led by Mr. Michael Fletcher, the head of grade 11 and 12 and IBDP coordinator, and the grade 12 homeroom teachers, Ms. Mandy Manson, Dr. Samuel Strazo, and Mr. Mark Trumbull. Remain standing for the singing of the national anthem of the Republic of Singapore. Take your seats. I'd like to now welcome our head of school and the XCL CEO of Singapore Schools, Mrs. Tammy Murphy, to the stage to give the welcoming remarks.
To our 2024 graduates, their families and friends, staff and guests, welcome. It is both my honor and privilege to give the opening address this evening. After decades in education and more graduation addresses than I can remember, every time I stand before a graduating class, I'm moved by the importance and meaning of this day for each graduate and their families. So each year, I willingly accept this duty with pride in my heart and humility in my soul knowing that this has been a long journey for each of you. To our graduates' families, they did it with your unwavering support. To our faculty and staff, thank you for your constant guidance and patience to help these young people reach their destination. Today, you graduate from XCL World Academy. Graduation from high school is a monumental juncture in your journey. After years of studying and preparing for this next chapter in your life, you're ready for college, university, service, or other adventures. Your graduation ceremony is one of the most meaningful and symbolic events in this part of your educational life. It's time to reflect on the sacrifices and accomplishments of the past and on the hope and excitement for the future. You see, graduation speeches are meant to provide you with some inspiration or advice for that future. So graduates, today I have for you 5 Murphyisms, or nuggets of advice that I want to share with you, as well as weave in a couple of personal stories to make these Murphyisms come to life. You see, these little mantras or affirmations, I've lived by these, and they've served me well. So, Murphyism number 1, stay open to possibilities. Be ready to scrap your plans, but be limitless. When I was your age, I thought I had it all figured out. And why wouldn't I? I wanted to get good grades, I did. I wanted to be captain of the cheerleading squad, check. Vice president of the class, check. Although I never did get to date Frankie Peroni. Upon graduation, I carefully selected a university to set me on my path to achieve my career goals. I'd always known that I wanted to help children and young people. Science was my absolute favorite subject and one in which I excelled. So again, it was perfectly clear to me I'd be a pediatrician. I wasn't completely convinced about another decade in school, so I chose a university that had also a path called physician assistant. All the beginning coursework aligned, so it seemed like a win-win. I loved working on the cadavers, understanding the miracle of the human body, challenging courses, and of course, frat parties. Anxious for more practical experience, I started volunteering at a pediatric wing at the nearby hospital. Week after week, it became harder and harder for me to find joy in the work when there were sick children that I couldn't help. The work was not filling my bucket, it was actually pulling joy out of my bucket. It was the first time in my life my plans didn't go as I expected. This was a new experience. I thought, how can I scrap my plans? I remember so clearly heading to my dorm room one day and decided to stop at the payphone in the hall. Yes, you heard me correctly, payphone. That's because in 1981, my cell phone was a big bag that I kept on the front seat of my car. I called my father to tell him that I couldn't stay in medicine. I offered him another idea, to which his response to this day is still so vivid in my mind. And with his southern accent, he said, "Like heck, young lady, you go back to that dorm room and you keep thinking." And he hung up the phone. So on being limitless, I went back to what was core to me, working with young people. I changed to the College of Education, and I have never looked back. So stay open to possibilities. Be ready to scrap your plans, but be limitless in terms of fulfilling the possibilities that will surround you. Murphyism number 2. Embrace your hidden talents and lean in. A few years into my teaching career, I completed my master's degree, and I found that working with my colleagues filled my bucket as much as working with young people. My boss asked me to do some big-scale project. I thought maybe, so I embraced my hidden talents. I thought all my skills laid in teaching and learning in the classroom, but by embracing the unknown, I decided to try my skills as a school administrator. I was only 28, and I really didn't know what I didn't know. But being limitless, I applied for a principalship in Princeton. I made it to the final 2 candidates, but I didn't get the job. They told me I was just too young for this very established community. And then I found power and strength in Murphyism number 3, lean in. Shortly after that failure, which taught me a ton of lessons, I interviewed for another principalship, and this time I was the chosen candidate. Dr. Zerpeli, the superintendent, was really not sure about the committee's recommendation. He called me to his office for a final conversation. He shared with me that he had daughters older than me, and he wasn't sure that I should have the job. I glanced at the credenza behind his desk chair where he was seated, and I saw a family photo of his 2 girls. It was at that moment that I decided to lean in. You too will need to lean in someday to advocate for what you want or for the rights of others. Be sure to do it in a passionate but respectful way. I took a big gulp, passionately looked at Dr. Z, and told him he could be the one that gave me my shot. That without this opportunity, how would I ever get experience? So, by being limitless, embracing hidden talents, and leaning in, I got the job at school number 5 alongside Ed and Skip and Herb and John. There was only one condition for my new job. Dr. Z told me that administrative cabinet meetings were every Friday, and that I would be the one responsible for stopping at a bakery to pick up specific donuts for the crew. And I did that every Friday. Murphyism number 4, don't be afraid of saying yes to new opportunities. Vygotsky's theory of proximal development states you only learn if you push yourself beyond what you know with the help of others. One of my favorites is Sheryl Sandberg's quote, which says, when you're offered a seat on the rocket ship, you don't ask which seat, you just get on. You will surprise yourselves by what you can accomplish when you show courage and initiative to take opportunities outside your comfort zone. You'll meet new people, you'll learn, you'll grow in ways you had no idea you could. Einstein says life is like a bicycle. To keep your balance, you just have to keep moving. So keep pedaling toward your passions. Get to know what makes you personally happy, what fills your bucket with joy, and make purpose in your life. Don't worry about anyone else's bucket or purpose. Don't try to compare yours to anyone else's. We all have responsibility to be greater than the people who came before us. The expression, to stand on the shoulders of those before us, literally means to stand taller so that we can see further, to honor our parents and the mentors in our life. We shouldn't be just as good as them or live up to their example, but we should actually surpass them, even if you're not sure about that seat you got on the rocket ship. We have to overcome doubt and fear and be the best version of ourselves and be better than those before us. And the last Murphyism is, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. There's a reason for that. Listen in silence with no judgments or corrections. Be a good listener, a really active listener, and show empathy. But don't give votes to those that shouldn't have voices in your life. Learning to be a good listener is probably the best skill you can develop to ensure success in your academic, social, and work life. Finally, remember, time decides who you meet in your life. Your heart decides who you want in your life. And your behavior decides who stays in your life. I greatly look forward to be part of the future that you will shape. Congratulations, XCL World Academy graduates. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Murphy. And now, I'd like to take a second to thank the parents and guardians of the class of 2024 for all the support and encouragement you have given to our students to make this day happen. from baby steps to big dreams. We hope you enjoyed that video presentation. Please now welcome Mr. Mark Peterson, our secondary years principal, to the stage.
Baby photos is always a tough act to follow, I have to be honest. Good evening. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, faculty members, parents, and most importantly, the class of 2024. We gather here this evening to celebrate an incredible achievement. I am honored to stand before you as your principal as we celebrate this unforgettable milestone. Graduating from school is a momentous occasion that marks the culmination of years of hard work, dedication, personal growth, and fun times with classmates. It is a time for celebration, reflection, and recognition of your accomplishments. As you all prepare to embark on new adventures and to pursue your dreams, remember that you carry with you many lessons learnt, friendships forged, and memories cherished during your time at school. Prior to graduation each year, I always take the opportunity to really capture the essence of the graduating cohort and some of the unique characteristics that make you stand out as a group. For example, much has happened since the class of 2024 started their secondary year's journey all the way back in 2017. The year when the song Despacito, sung by Louis Fonsi, Daddy Yankee, and Justin Bieber, hit #1 in the charts. Great song, great song. The year the iPhone X was released, and the year TikTok came to prominence internationally. What a relief. Where would we be without those viral TikTok dance videos? The class of 2024 is composed of 47 brilliant students, represented by 22 different nationalities. There are students graduating today who have been with the school since 2016, starting all the way back in grade 5. We have students who joined more recently in 2023, and so many in between. The class of 2024 can be described as a resilient group, and not only because so many of you survived grade 7 math and grade 8 PE with Mr. Peterson, a character-building experience for all involved, believe me, but you navigated the pandemic with ease, despite the many disruptions. We have many students graduating today who, when they first arrived at our school, they were still in the very early stages of developing their English language proficiency. As one parent shared with me recently, when my child started at the school, they could barely speak a word of English. They will now graduate high school with 2 diplomas in hand. Quite the achievement in my eyes. We also have students here today who started at our school many years ago, departed, and have since returned. I am pleased that they will conclude their high school journey here at XCL World Academy. So in summary, we have a fascinating cohort of students who, like the graduating classes before them, have left their unique mark on our community in so many ways. Well done. I'm sure we can all agree that it has been an eventful few weeks for the class of 2024. Prior to graduation rehearsals and prom celebrations, our students took part in their final IB examinations. 84 in total, spread across 15 days to be exact. I would always try to find time to speak with the students at the end of the exam session to see how they performed, and it is fair to say that the sentiment shared was mixed. I was always entertained by the responses of the students. Too easy, Mr. Peterson, too easy. Actually, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Yep, that was hard. And my personal favourite, why, oh why did I choose to study IB? The dedication of the class of 2024 during the examination block was there for all to see. Many students staying back late each day to get in those final hours of study, sometimes alone, but normally together in groups. And while this was all going on, there were in particular 2 groups of supporters buoyantly cheering you on. Firstly, your parents. Your parents have been with you from the very beginning and are without doubt your biggest supporters. During those critical times of need, they offer guidance, reassurance, encouragement, and I'm sure a little bit of coercion and nagging on occasions when you're falling behind on your IAs. But what I hope that you have all learned from this experience is that your parents love you dearly and will always have your best interests at heart, no matter what. The second group of supporters, your teachers. A teacher's role transcends mere subject mastery. Their impact reaches beyond the classroom, shaping character, resilience, and ambition. They embody various roles, from role model and counsellor to facilitator and mentor, adapting to students' needs seamlessly. Your teachers are here this evening, beaming with pride, knowing they've fulfilled their purpose and served you all well here at XCL World Academy. I actually had a clap coming up in my next passage, but that's fine, that's really good. Class of 2024, I ask that you join me in applause as a show of appreciation to your parents and teachers for their unrelenting and unconditional support during your time at the school. Well done. In recent weeks, my conversations with the majority of the students from the class of 2024 have been enlightening. What I have taken away from these conversations is that there is a blend of enthusiasm and trepidation regarding the transition to this next phase of life. This is very typical, given this is without doubt a big moment for you all. Many of you will soon be packing your bags and venturing abroad to begin your tertiary studies in just a matter of months. The creature comforts of Singapore will be no more, and you will be chartering into the unknown and having to embrace the many joys of young adulthood. Getting a part-time job, paying rent, keeping up with your studies, making sure you have enough money for groceries, making sure you have enough money to maintain a social life after you've bought your groceries. While I understand this can be overwhelming and can ultimately lead to those feelings of trepidation, it is important to know that you are not alone. With that said, I reflected on my own experience of graduating way back in the early 2000s. Similar feelings of apprehension plagued me and many others at that time, with many questions pondered. What happens now? What will we do without each other? Is my chosen career path the correct one? Where will it lead me? And do I have what is needed to make it in this ever-changing world? I remember my head of year's final address on graduation day, and what he shared with the class was unexpected. But looking back, it was exactly what I believe we all needed to hear at that particular time in our lives. He said, "Ignore societal pressures. You don't have to have everything figured out right now. If you do, that's great. But if you don't, that's fine as well. Life has a strange way of working itself out. You'll see." So class of 2024, the moment has arrived for you to embark on your journey into the world. What I can offer to you is that graduating presents a remarkable opportunity amidst the backdrop of our rapidly changing landscape. In this era of innovation and interconnectedness, graduating signifies stepping into an environment ripe with possibilities and challenges waiting to be conquered. The timing couldn't be better. As graduates, you are equipped with the knowledge, skills, and adaptability needed to thrive in today's dynamic society. With technological advancements opening up new avenues for creativity and collaboration, graduating now means entering a world where ideas can be shared instantaneously and boundaries are continually being pushed. Moreover, the current global climate has highlighted the importance of resilience and empathy, qualities that you all possess in abundance. As you venture forth, you have the chance to make a meaningful impact, to shape the future, and to leave your mark on the world in ways that were unimaginable even a few years ago. Graduating now is not just about receiving a diploma. It's about embracing the limitless opportunities that lie ahead and seizing the moment to create a brighter tomorrow. Sounds exciting, right? Are you ready? I think you are. But I want you to remember this. Ignore societal pressures. You don't have to have everything figured out right now. If you do, that's great. But if you don't, that's fine as well. Life has a strange way of working itself out. You'll see. Class of 2024, congratulations. We will miss you. Do us proud.
Thank you, Mr. Peterson, for those moving words. Next, please welcome the Voices. Voices. It is now my honor to present to you this year's faculty speaker, who was selected by the class of 2024. Please welcome Mr. Patrick Lotherhurst.
That was a dodgy picture. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, faculty members, guardians, and most importantly, the class of 2024. I'll preface this speech by telling you that no artificial intelligence, and for that matter, very little of any intelligence, was used in its authoring. I thank you for bestowing on me the enormous honour of being a faculty speaker. I was enormously touched to be chosen and then enormously terrified at the responsibility. It's been over a month now since I was asked, and it's given me again just a little bit of time to like you again. Much of this speech was concocted on morning walks and when patrolling the exam rooms this past few weeks. It brought back distant memories that are as fresh as the writer's lump that still deforms my finger. We had to write so much more back then. You'll no doubt suffer in other ways with deformed thumbs and screen-damaged eyes. I watched as you calmly regurgitated your learning. What came to us as young, uncut gems, excelling now, each of you in your ways. I saw Taha, armed with 3 calculators, doing math that's way beyond me. Judging by the smoke coming out of his head, not for the first time I might mention, it was taxing him too. I saw Kevin, disarmed with his rings lying neatly on his exam table, looking vaguely vulnerable. Ben spent time doodling. Spiro did well to sit still for such long periods. On another occasion, I marvelled and worried that we hadn't taught you to hold pens correctly or that we completely lost the art of scribing, until I realised it was a Chinese and Japanese paper, and that you do hold your pens differently. I had to flip back through years of pictures to check whether I'd had any of you for homeroom, but miraculously, no, I haven't had that pleasure or responsibility. You become almost family to them in that year that they register and guide you. We are all, as teachers, in loco parentis, Latin for in place of the parent. It refers to the legal responsibility of a person to take on some of the functions and responsibilities of the parent. That responsibility is elevated for those who have been your homeroom teachers as they get to know you just that little bit better. They see you in that just got to school mode, haven't had breakfast mode, and they more than others feel responsible for noticing if you're okay. Let's pause to applaud those here amongst us and those watching from afar who've been your homeroom teachers. So, I've been a design teacher to 23 of you, and most of you at some stage throughout your time here. My speech is built on those times, tips to Tierman for Group 4 adventures, standing in -20-degree freezers while our brains went numb at helping hands. Helping out with grade 10 projects, the occasional physics IA, art installations, and the odd torso for murderesses. You are undoubtedly some of the smartest, most intelligent students that I have ever taught. Before you sit and gloat at the gene pool assembled in this room, pause for a moment while I qualify my statement. Scientists have measured the amount of data that enter the brain and found that on average, a person living today processes as much as 74 gigabytes of information per day. That's as much as watching 16 movies through TVs, computers, cell phones, tablets, billboards, and many other gadgets. Every year, it's about 5% more than the previous year. Only 500 years ago, 74 gigabytes of information would be what a highly educated person consumed in a lifetime through books and stories. The world has changed in the time that we've known you. TikTok, chat, GPT, e-assessment, esports, Instagram, online dating, Grab, Food Panda, doom scrolling, pandemics and lockdowns. You are robust, adaptable, gregarious and caring. This stage is a testament to your boundless talents, the memories of which will live on in our memories. It's seen you MC like a pro, sing like angels, play instruments like virtuosos, dance, act out your demons, confess to murders, Yuka, tear off your clothes. Spiro, you're clearly healthier and fitter than I ever suspected. Your performances are part of the fabric of what makes XCL, XL. That wasn't intentional. A school that my colleagues and I are proud to work at. Somewhere that feels like a community and not just an institution. You survived COVID, online teaching, and 2 heads of SY and 3 heads of school. When I was your age, I'd been to 2 schools. Primary in a rural village where the height of excitement was pinching sweet peas from an adjacent garden at break time, through middle school and then to its adjoining high school. I'd had the same friends since I was 4 years old. Leaving the farming community to go to Liverpool Polytechnic terrified me, to be honest. I wasn't worldly wise as you are. I hadn't had much practice at making new friends. Leaving the farm and the farming community was scary for me. There I was known by all, waved some tractors and fields as I cycled past. Mr. Nicol, the local policeman, would drive past me slowly on a Friday night on my 6-mile pedal home and advise me to get some new batteries for my bike light and try to steer in a straight line. Leaving home scared me. Liverpool scared me. Liverpudlians more so. You will head off on your own adventures, gap years, national service, universities from Australia to the US. Some of you may even go out to work. Your experiences here have left you not only better educated, but well equipped to make new friends, find new interests, and you will, I'm sure, shine wherever you end up, as you have here. A special mention to those guardianship students among you. I am so impressed at how well you've done. To have studied abroad and away from home and families for these past years, the discipline, drive, and independence you've shown, you mature beyond your years. I would have struggled. You're more prepared than most for university life. An enormous thank you to the guardians too, who have played such an invaluable role in keeping our students safe. There used to be a tradition when I left school of burning our ties and textbooks. I lived on a farm in rural Northumberland, remember dousing my tattered workbooks in diesel, lighted them, and then dangling my tie into them as an act of anarchic rebellion. We had Mr. Smead, a skinnier, taller, far meaner version of Mr. Fletcher. I can't, it's true, I can't advise you of what to do with your tie, but like your jackets, you might look back on it fondly one day. You don't have books to burn, most of you, but I would implore you to download your work, your IAs, onto hard drives or thumbsticks. We're moving away from Google Drive. One day you'll sit proudly looking through your children's schoolwork, probably through electronic cornea implants or some other hardware. As a man with one bound and typed river study to prove that I was ever studious, I wish I had more to show my 14-year-old that Daddy was quite smart once. The next few years should be the best years of your life, untethered by what you felt were the constraints of school and parents. You're about to set off on your own voyage, writing your own history, studying something, hopefully, that you want to study. Try and get the balance better than I did between studying and enjoying life. I hope you make the most of this next chapter. Were I to have my time again, I wish a younger me would have known what he'd wanted and studied something he was passionate about. I couldn't balance geography and geology and trilobite beetle statistics of biology. I dropped out of Liverpool Polytechnic. Dropped out's a polite way of what actually happened. I dropped out of Liverpool Polytechnic and moved to Winchester, where 4 years later I did secure my Bachelor of Education. I got a Desmond, a tutu, as they were affectionately known then, after the anti-apartheid South African Bishop Desmond Tutu. Archbishop Tutu had many wise quotes and words of wisdom. He said once, "When we see the face of a child, we think of the future. We think of their dreams, about what they might become and what they might accomplish." As I again sat invigilating a conference room too, musing as to how this might be the last time I saw some of you as pre-graduates, and how juxtaposing you and fast-forwarding 5 years, you might be sitting in boardrooms like this, managing companies. There are architects, surgeons amongst you, DJs and politicians, professional sportsmen and women, then a handful of space cadets. Be what you want to be, class of 2024. Relish the opportunity. Understand that once you've graduated from the next chapter, life becomes more serious. Bills have to be paid, children have to be fed, and the circle of life rolls on. I usually sign yearbooks with my standard adage, pinched from my stepdad. of don't do anything that I wouldn't do. I'd implore you not to do half the things that I have done. If this year's taught me anything, it's that none of us are indestructible. Stay healthy, join teams, exercise, and maintain a work and study life balance. Ring home weekly. Stay in touch with the friends you've made here. Let us faculty know what you're doing. I love getting samples of coursework, expectations, design courses, recommendations of colleges and course etc. Come back and say hi. Your faces will change as you mature. Don't be afraid to say hi when you see us out of context later. Some of my happiest moments are bumping into ex-students. Another of Archbishop Tutu's quotes is, "I wish I could shut up, but I can't, and I won't. It's time for me to do so." Thank you, Class of 2024. Live long and prosper.
Thank you, Mr. Lotherherd. Every year, the student speaker is selected by the graduating cohort to represent their class as the student speaker. This year, our student speaker is Bunsuan Edwin Chia.
Sorry, give me a moment. Good afternoon, esteemed faculty, beloved family members, cherished friends, and of course, the extraordinary class of 2024. It truly brings me the greatest pleasure to stand before you today on behalf of the graduating class to reflect on some of the moments we have shared as a cohort, and finally, mark the completion of my last ever high school assignment, the graduation speech. Before I begin, I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to my dear parents and my younger brother for supporting me into becoming the man who stands before you today. Through highs and lows, ups and downs, you have always been by my side. And for that, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. So now, on to you, class of 2024. At long last, we arrive at this day. The very day that marks the end of 2 years that we managed to Quizlet, Classify, and Spark Notes our way through. We've made it, guys. 2 years of IAs, Dr. Ong's weekly tests, and Mr. C's never-ending business projects. That's it. It's over. To be honest, for the past few weeks, I have wondered how this exact moment would feel like. Yet, right now, I can't quite grasp it how I feel. Perhaps, if I were to try to put it to words, it's a weird mix of gratitude, nostalgia, excitement, and even a hint of apprehension for the future that is to come. But one thing's for sure, I'm gonna miss you. Every now and then, my mind takes a trip to memory lane, reflecting upon the countless moments I have shared with each and every one of you over the past few years. From our first ever steps into the brand new lounge, to the warm campfire on Tioman Island, and even the lunchtime games of Maghrebi. The importance of these moments, no matter how small, is really hitting me now. To be honest, these 2 years meant the world to me, filled with way too many memories that I will forever miss. Strangely, if there's one thing that I truly feel right now, it's a desire to turn back time and relive these past 2 years again. My time in high school has been far from being the 2 years of endless stress that we often make them out to be. It has truly been the best chapter of my life, where I've been lucky enough to have met and spent time with each and every one of you, the unforgettable people whom I have grown alongside and will always hold a special place in my heart. Frankly, I'm scared of leaving everything behind, entering a world of unknowns, no longer alongside dear family and friends, whom have accompanied me over the past 2 years. The years I am sure to remember as the best time of my life. How strange to be a child, all hasty to grow up, only to find yourself on the brink of adulthood in the blink of an eye, with a naive wish to turn back time. To finally escape the horrors of high school and endless examinations, only to miss the halls and people that to me are truly a second home. Yet, although some of us will bid our farewells today, at least the memories we share will always endure. The lessons we have learned, the moments we hold dear. To me, these things have been way more important and valuable than the silly sheet of paper we will receive today that we hail as the high school diploma. So, class of 2024, let us celebrate having been granted the greatest gift of all, our memories that are too precious to be forgotten, that will not just serve as memories of our past, but rather unbreakable bonds we continue to carry into our futures. Fellow graduates, as we prepare to turn the page and begin a new chapter in our lives, let us do so with gratitude for the past, excitement for the future, and the joy we possess in living in the present. Today's graduation should not only be seen as the end of an adventure, but rather the start of new beginnings. Amongst you, there may very well be a future filmmaker whose visionary storytelling will captivate audiences worldwide. A surgeon whose compassion and expertise will heal the sick and comfort those in need. Or an artist whose creativity and expression will enrich the world with beauty and meaning. All of you, without a doubt, will only continue to grow from now, for it is finally time to leave our nests, spread our wings, and at long last, soar towards the skies. So, as what may very well be my last words to you, I would like to leave with my words of thanks. Thank you, XCL World Academy, for having been all of our second home. Thank you, teachers and faculty, for the invaluable lessons that have not only broadened our horizons, but also prepared us for the future that awaits. Last but not least, thank you, class of 2024, for your gifts to me of countless memories, laughter shared, and priceless moments that will forever be precious to me. You have made these years unforgettable, and our times are ones that I will never forget. May our futures be as bright and promising as the paths we have walked together. And here's to the next chapter of our lives. Thank you.
And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. I'd like to invite on stage Mrs. Murphy and Mr. Peterson to present the XWA Diploma. The grade 12 homeroom teachers will be reading out the students' names by homeroom, starting with Miss Mandy Manson, 12.1, followed by Dr. Samuel Strongo, 12.2, and ending with Mr. Mark Tumble.
XCL. Chie Kun Chuan. Kayla Dennison. Oscar Drager. Feng Yandeng. David Fiore Lopez. Spiro Kolokotas. Ben Lemu. Helena Lowe. Jesse Wayne. Lu Win Nie. Yuka Tango. Sean Toth. Kate Van Zatven. Wang Hangzhu. Daniel Williams.
Alicia Asante. Thomas Brizade. Proudpit Chatawananot. Chris Collins. Ashlyn DeCurry Walls. Nyla Tumalak Dumato. Sunidhi V. Hegade. U. Kat. Nicholas Masharu Keedle. Ramez Malik. Ben McAdam Roberts. Qian Qiang. David Von Pratt. Utae Yoshida.
Liana Binti Aydın. Arena Yevtushenko. Lina Kagawa. Shido Kamata. Itsumo Kawabe. Jessica Elizabeth Beresna. Minkai Lu. Alicia Livet. Wen Tao Liu. Nandini Nair. Sangha Saktivir. Priscilla Christiani Silfans. Rahas Tiwari. Ryosei Tomimatsu. Mio Tomioka. Sanjana Vidula. Monkonjai Thomas Wowiu Jr.
The class of 2024, please come back on stage for the official graduation announcement.
XCL World Academy graduating class of 2024. Please move the tassel on your cap from the right side to the left side. It is now my honor and privilege to call you high school graduates of XCL World Academy.